What's up, guys? All right, Big Apple TV, otherwise known as P. All right, I got another channel called Prince Sports. Prince Sports, yeah, that's all it's called, Prince Sports. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about something that I grew up playing, which was video games, right? Um, Throughout the years, video games have changed big time. Now, if you look at some of these games, they look almost lifelike, right? They put you in lifelike situations. You got rated R video games. You got games that's just for adults, right? So video gaming has changed, opposite to back in the day when it was catered to more younger people. But now video games are geared towards a more adult audience. Some games are, some games aren't. Some games are just downright what's the word I'm looking for? Let's just say downright aggressive. Okay. Um, and it has a lot of adult themes, type style video games. But does that mean the games themselves are good to play? Now, I noticed that we got the next gen systems out, right? But the next gen systems are lacking good games. There hasn't been a good game in a long time. What I mean by good games, the variety of to go and pick a big amount of games is not there anymore. A lot of games tend to be, they look lifelike, they big in graphics, but the gameplay is just not there. So I made a little list of games that I think should come out. Some of these games, man. Oh, what up, Tay? I'm just talking about some games real quick before I go on to the Brooklyn Nets game. It starts in about like 20 minutes. Okay. But he's playing ball all day. That's what's up. Okay. One of the games I was talking about, my favorite category is fighting games, right? So you got a lot of good fighting games that come out. You got Mortal Kombat 11, great fighting game, right? But there's not that much diversity. Back in the day, you had games like, even Capcom will release a fighting game like almost every month. Darkstalkers, Marvel Superheroes, Marvel versus Capcom. We've been lacking in good fighting games. All the fighting games seem to be repetitive and all copying that Mortal Kombat 11 format. So the games I like to see come back, I like to see Street Fighter 6 come back. They take forever making that game. I like to see that game come. Marvel Superheroes was a game released in PlayStation, like PlayStation 1 back in the day. I like to see that game come back, a 2D fighter Marvel game. Capcom owns the rights to Marvel. Marvel's big in this generation. Why not release a Marvel game? Damn, playing basketball. That's a long time playing basketball, man. So Marvel Superheroes, Street Fighter 6, and I like to see Xbox actually make Killer Instinct. Release that game for Christ's sakes. We need more diversity in games. We need more Street Fighter versus anything. Let's get more diverse, with some of the games. Now, another category is sports. I've been waiting for a boxing game for over 10 years. Okay, we got lack of diversity even in boxing games. There's really no boxing games at all. And I've been a fan of boxing for quite some time. And I would love another fight night game. Why can't we release another fight night game and pit Floyd Mayweather in there, pit Manny Pacquiao in there, pit all of these guys in this game, pit them in there so we can actually get, some good games going down. I would like that. Another sport game I like to see make a comeback is NBA Live, because you can't just have it stuck with one game and one game only, which is NBA 2K. Where's the competition? Let's make NBA Live. I like to see NBA Live come back. Or if you can't do that, make NBA Jam come back. A fun-loving game like NBA Jam. I know it was outrageous, unrealistic, but I would like to see that game make a comeback. So that's one game that I would like to see make a comeback is NBA Live. All right. So those are 3 sport games I like to see make a comeback. And just sport games in general. We need more sport games. Everything is declining. golf games. All these games have. I remember back in the day, you used to be able to get a sport game of every category: NFL, NHL, MLB, basketball, UFC, boxing. You had games for every single category. Now you can't barely get games in every category, and it's a damn shame. Even a football game like Madden could use some competition. How about NFL Blitz? Just something. Let's give something that could give us more entertainment. More than forcing us to buy the same game in the same category. Action adventures. What about a new Shinobi? Remember that game, Shinobi? Great fighting game. I mean, great action adventure game. Ninja swords and all that. That was a great game. Ninja Gaiden. How about that? A new Ninja Gaiden. Let's bring back that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Conan the Barbarian. Bring some of those games back. And here's the thing. Why not make some more novelty games? How come One Punch Man don't get a video game? For this generation. Or I know he has one for PlayStation 4 and all that stuff. It came out a couple years back. But we need more novelty games. Games. I remember back in the day, you used to be able to go into a video game store and you used to be able to buy a game just based off any game. If you had a favorite TV show, they had a video game for your favorite TV show. Even if it sucked, at least you had more options to go out and pick games. Now I'm thinking maybe because of COVID-19, production on video games has stopped. It's a reason why some of these games for these next gen systems aren't out. And I think it's a big travesty that you're going to have people buy a PlayStation 5. You're going to have them buy an Xbox, but it's not really that much games to play. I got an Xbox and a PlayStation 5. I have an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5, and I have yet to really play them, because some of the games I played already on the previous system. I'm like, damn, what is it new that these new generation systems have to offer? You could get Spider-Man Miles Morales on PlayStation 4. You don't really need PlayStation 5 to play some of these games. Every game on PlayStation 5 is on PlayStation 4. Every game from Xbox Series S is on Xbox One. So you release these new systems with really no new games to play. We find ourselves playing the same old games that we had from the other systems. And today I'm going to be going back to the basketball in a few minutes. I just figured out I wanted to make a quick video on talking about video games. So it's not necessarily looking to have people join in on the chat to talk with me. I'm just making a video and it's going to go straight to my channel, and boom, I don't have to edit it, chop it up, or nothing like that. So that's why I'm talking about it. Even a game like Nintendo Switch is forcing us to buy the same games that they made from years past. You got a Mario game that just came out, and that Mario game is from Nintendo Wii U. Okay? All these old games that they're reselling, but nobody's making new games. Let's make some new games and get people back excited so you can have some new categories. Now, I will say this about the generation. The adult Dean games, like the Resident Evil games, have gotten better, way better. It's hard for me to keep up with them because I don't really have time to game like that. The Tomb Raider franchise has went up big time. They really stepped their game up. I love what the Tomb Raider franchise did. I think they moving in the right direction. But my favorite category, my wife's favorite category of video games is fighting games. They're easy games to get into. You don't have to think. You don't have to sit down there and get frustrated and be like, oh, where do I go? I'm stuck. I'm lost. I really don't have time to play games like that. I need to have a game that I could just plug in, play right off the bat, and don't worry about getting a strategy guide for it, looking online for how to solve this puzzle. I don't want games like that. At this time and age, I don't want it. Now, since I got younger kids, they could be going through those frustrations that I used to go through when I was their age. Playing the Zelda and, oh, I got to find this piece. I got to find that piece. I can't do that. It's just too much time consuming for me. I need a game that I could get into very easy and it's just fun. I'm looking for fun games. I'm not looking for a game that's going to make me want to break the TV screen because I can't solve a puzzle in a game or something like that. That's definitely not what I'm looking for at this day and age. You know. So with that being said, you could get a next gen system, but you're really just investing in it until new games come out. Because I think because of COVID-19, it really stopped us from getting new games. Because every new game coming out is on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. So it kind of makes you think, why are you getting a next gen system? You're getting a next gen system because it's a future investment. Because 2022, 2023, they're going to make games just for those one systems, and that's it. Everybody's going to be forced to get a PlayStation 5 when they finally stop making games for PlayStation 4. And what they are, they're going to stop making games for PlayStation 4 if you have a PlayStation. So you're going to have to upgrade sooner or later. Why not now? Why not get your new system now and just wait for the games to come out? I got the new system, but I haven't played it yet because just today I bought Mortal Kombat 11, a game that I played countless times. My wife has performed just about every fatality on it. But we got the new edition now that has some of the extra characters in there. So maybe, she'll have a new challenge in that aspect. But it's the same game. It's exactly the same game that I just, how many times are you going to buy the same game over and over again for just different systems? We need new games. And we need games that's going to spark our interest. I haven't had no game that's really sparking my interest as of late. There's no game that I could look at and be like, damn, I really want to play this game. Because they're all repetitive. They look good, but the entertainment value of today's games, I think, went down. When me and my wife was coming up, we had games that were fun. They didn't look as good. Technology back then wasn't that good, but the games themselves were just fun to play. And that would be something that I would take with me. Pretty much throughout, forever. So right now I'm in collecting mode. I could hook up my new system. I have to hook it up at some point because I gotta play it. For all I know, these systems don't even work. I could have a defective system and not even know it. I have to test them out and actually play them at some point. But I looked at skins. I want to put some skins on my Xbox. My Xbox is really made for traveling. I'm gonna have a little small bag, and I travel with that. Travel with that to the Philippines. But that'd be somewhat useless if I don't have my priorities straight with it. Over there, because if it's supposed to be staying in the house. If it can't stay in the house that I'm building, I'm bringing it back here, and I don't know if that house is going to be done. Everything's up in the air. Everything's a maybe. I don't even know if that house will be done when I go back to the Philippines, based off the situation that we're dealing with COVID. So I don't even know if that'll be getting done. I don't even know if my original plan be done, and COVID will be holding me back if I can't get back to work and do what I want to do in that time frame. So that may get postponed. So a lot of stuff may get postponed. So if people making money and work is getting postponed, I know these video game companies got to get postponed. But before COVID even kicked in, there hasn't been a fight night. I really want, out of all the games in the world, I want a boxing game with Manny Pacquiao in it, Floyd Mayweather, all my favorite boxers of all time, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, everybody. Imagine if a boxing game with all those people in there. That'd be great. That'd be great and fun to watch. I would love a game like that. I could play against wifey on a boxing game, but I find myself I have to download old games just to get a taste of playing some good games. Because today's games, they look great. Look at them, they got 4K looks to them, and you'd be like, damn, that looks fantastic. But the actual gameplay is like, man. You know, so that's why I think video games are declining. Now, granted, video games can't hit me the same way that it hit me when I was once, 15 years old and things like that. I'm way older now, so video games is something that I find myself collecting more because I'm a guy that love electronics. You know, I love having gadgets, the top gadgets and stuff like that. I do put them to use, but I take my sweet time. And in these video games, I'm seen to be taking my sweet time. Like now, I got to get ready to go on live to watch a basketball game and, break down that basketball game. And all I have for the moment is, get ready to do that. I can't even hook the systems up and play them because I always find myself busy and I have to do something else. After this game go off, it's going to be close to 9:30, 10, and I'm not going to be playing video games at 10 o'clock at night. So this is why I simply say I need time. I need time to find a perfect opportunity just to play a video game because I really have no time really. Within the day, I always find myself doing other activities, running errands, rather if I have to go to the store to buy something, things of that nature, But my favorite video game company is Capcom. I love the 2D fighter games, and I don't have enough. Where is the good fighting games? This time around, so I won't be asked out, I bought 2 systems, and I bought the lowest of one that I won't use too much. Okay, so I'm not going to be using Xbox that much. My main Xbox really came to me like it was free. It was like sitting on my lap. I just got lucky to get an Xbox because technically I wouldn't have got one. But I had a gift card from Best Buy and I had to spend it in something. I didn't want to just keep spending in pointless games that I probably wasn't going to play because they're not the category of games I want. And there's not enough fighting games to buy. There's no new fighting games to buy. You buy yourself the same revamped games that you had on the previous system. So when they come out with a new Injustice game, with all Batman and Superman, all the DC characters, I would get that like there was no tomorrow. I would jump on that. I love that game. When they come out with a Mortal Kombat 12, the movie is coming out. In April 16th is Mortal Kombat. Get ready for that. I can't wait to see. I wasn't waiting to see a Mortal Kombat movie in a long time, and we're gonna get a chance now. But why is there no fighting Marvel game? I love Marvel superheroes, and why we don't have a Marvel game? You made a DC fighting game, but we don't get a Marvel fighting game. Imagine a fighting game with Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thanos, the Hulk. You could pick from all those characters, get a story mode, a storyline, all of that stuff. We're not doing Marvel any justice with the video games. That sucks. Marvel should have a fighting game. DC got one. DC got, Injustice. You remember that Injustice game? The fighting game? Superman and all those good characters. Darkseid was my favorite character in that fighting game. He had his hands behind his back and the beams would come out his eyes.
Did we beat that game?
Huh?
Did we beat that game?
Yeah, we beat that. We need games like that. We need fighting games like that. We need more fighting games, but with other characters. I found that Nintendo Switch got better fighting games than these high-tech systems. A lot of good fighting games you could find on Nintendo Switch, but you can't find them on PlayStation 5 too much. No, it's a damn shame. It really is a shame. I mean, what happened to some people just like good kick-ass fighting game. I want a Marvel fighting game. Make one already. Mortal Kombat 12 seems to be like the only fighting game people have a chance to get. Because now they're going to make a new Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 12 is going to come out. Mortal Kombat 12 will come out. And once it comes out, a lot of other fighting games is going to be put on hold, and we're going to be forced to buy Mortal Kombat 12 again. But what if you're not a Mortal Kombat fan? What about Street Fighter? Street Fighter 5 came out in what, like 2017? It's already 2021, and we haven't got a new Street Fighter game yet. Street Fighter 6 is long overdue and it's late. I would love to have a new Street Fighter game. I find myself playing the same Street Fighter game, Street Fighter 2, on Nintendo Switch, because I can't find a new Street Fighter game to play. You know, they just don't make enough new games to satisfy people. If you want these systems to succeed, you got to make games. Okay, got to make games. Start reinventing the same old games that everybody already got. I like sport and fighting games. I want an NFL game, a football game, a basketball game, a boxing game, an NFC game. I think they have an NFC game, but you know, I'm not big in NFC. You know what I mean? I only people I know in NFC is like Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor, you know. But I never was a fan of UFC, you know. Never was a fan of those type of games. But we need more. What about tennis? You know, Tiger Woods lost the license with EA, and EA don't make golf games no more. Golf games was fun. You know, it kept me relaxed sometimes. I could play a nice golf game. You know, how about a good tennis game? You know, a good tennis game with Serena Williams in it. She could be on the cover. I'm pretty sure people will buy it. She's the most famous person in tennis or up there. So let's get a Serena Williams, you know, game. You know, so you could play Serena Williams on a video game system. We're lacking, man. We're lacking. And how about a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting game? Like they had tournament fighters back in the day. Another Darkstalkers game. We need more fighting games. There's so much fighting games that we're missing that I can name that's not out. You know? How about a new and improved Tekken game? A real good Tekken game. You know, that'd be good. Now, I did pre-order a Guilty Gear X on PlayStation 5, but it doesn't come out until May. You know, but the order is stuck there. So I get at least one good fighting game coming. Guilty Gear X. My goal for the next generation Colossals is to collect every single fighting game on PlayStation 5 there is. You know, PlayStation 5, the box of the system itself is so huge. And this is the biggest system in video game history. Look how big that system is. You know, it's a very huge system. They should have made it a little smaller because it's going to be hard to travel with a PlayStation 5, you know. But I'd rather have two PlayStation 5s than two different systems, because I wanted the PlayStation 5 without a disc, and I could have sent that to the Philippines and keep this PlayStation 5 here, you know, the one where you just download games. But nevertheless, I'm stuck with what I get. I'm going to keep what I get. You know, I was thinking about selling my Series X, but I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to roll with that. But that's my little rant on games. You know, hopefully one day, or just anybody that watches or plays video games, they could look at this and be like, you know what? I got to forward this to somebody that makes games, EA Sports, Capcom, and more of the fans. If they hear the fans complain, they hear the fans talk, the people want better quality, maybe they would get it, you know? Because we are the consumers and we deserve to have better games. You know, we really do. We deserve to have games that we want to play, you know? And make a One Punch Man game for the new generation system. Let's get that going. You know, I would like to see something like that. A One Punch Man game. Because Nintendo Switch got Attack of the Titans. Why can't we have One Punch Man? I'm out.